El Salvador, one of the most dangerous countries in the world, the most dangerous peacetime country in the world. I was there in 2016 for a judo event. I used to fight judo and go to a lot of competitions. They told us if we stepped out of line or if we got off the bus at the wrong stop, we would certainly be dead. From that to being the most peaceful and the safest country in Latin America, to being a country that has a Bitcoin and cryptocurrency at the head of government, having a president, Nayib Bukele, as a person that sees a future in the country, arresting all of the criminals, all of the gang members, creating peace, creating a beautiful future, finance, attracting expat entrepreneurs, investors, not levying taxes on any wealthy people in the country. I think El Salvador, and I see El Salvador being the next expat hub of the world. They have a lot of things to fix. They have a lot of things to build. Like, for example, the new international airport they are building. They say it's going to be the airport of the Pacific. Countries from all over the world will fly into El Salvador in the next couple of years. And I see that happening. I truly see it being the Singapore of Latin America. The first step that Nayib Bukele took to create a beautiful future for El Salvador was getting rid of the gangs. From 700 murders in 1 month and brutal murders. They told us stories when I was in El Salvador. I was still young. I was learning a bit about every different country. They told us some stories that will make your bones just freeze. It's just insane how brutal and cruel these people were when they were free, when they were colluding with the government, when they were absolutely creating terror in this country. That's why nobody looked at El Salvador, even though it's a beautiful country, even though it has beautiful volcanoes, beautiful jungles, beautiful beaches. Nobody looked at it because it was just so terrifying. And it was really that. Some people visited and they had horrible stories. He fixed the most important problem in the country by rounding up all the gang members, putting them in this crazy concentration prison that he built, state-of-the-art with maximum security where they will never escape. And he's turned the public against the criminals. And I see this beautifully. A lot of international organizations and a lot of NGOs, they criticize El Salvador. They say, oh, what about the rights of the criminals? But El Salvador has a goal. They want to make Salvador the safest place in Latin America, and they're on the way to make it even safer than the United States, than Canada, than all these countries that are heading downhill. El Salvador is going to be the most peaceful out of all of them. I see it happening over the next couple of years because this is what happens in a business. This is how Singapore is run. This is how the UAE is run. One person at the top seeing the country like a business. You don't impose taxes on wealthy people. You make Bitcoin the top currency, so everybody comes and invests their Bitcoin. You allow foreigners to buy property. You don't tax those foreigners. You create new roads. You create specific places that foreigners can go to, like Surf City. You create a new airport, like Dubai. You bring people from other countries to that airport. You create safety. You eliminate the main problem of the country, which were those gang members, those criminals. And now you have this paradise so close to the United States, a couple of hours flight. You can go as a wealthy expat, invest in El Salvador. And what I've been hearing from a lot of people, if you invest with Bitcoin in the country, they will also grant you citizenship. So they have, let's say, a non-official citizenship by investment program. Their passport is actually pretty good. It gets you into many countries all over the world. It gets you into the Schengen area in Europe. And it will obviously improve over the next couple of years and decades if the country becomes safe. Those immigrants coming in from El Salvador are not criminals. They're good, hardworking people. Countries around the world will grant them visa-free travel. And Nayib Bukele is very strict on creating good relationships with other leaders around the world. For example, during the Turkey earthquake, Turkey and Syria, which was absolutely devastating, and obviously you heard about it in the news, El Salvador actually sent a rescue team to Turkey, and they found people under the rubble of the earthquakes, and they were rescuing Turkish people during the Turkish earthquake, a country that is literally on the other side of the world. They want to show their country off to the world. They want to say that El Salvador is a good, hardworking, peaceful country that you should come and invest, that you should come put your money, that you should come bring your life and your children, and they will keep investing because they're running the country like a business. And Nayib Bukele, many people call him a dictator. If he was a dictator, he would be killing off people that don't agree with him. He would be basically making them disappear. What he does is with force, because you have to do it with force, in a country that is that corrupted, that crazy, with that level of crime, if you want to fix a country like that, you just have to be strong on those people. And any people from his own party that take money from citizens, one woman that works for his party, and I've seen all these reports in Spanish, I speak Spanish, so I read and watch all these news and all these reports in El Salvador. He actually got her arrested because she was stealing money from citizens, and she's from his own party. So it's not that he's loyal to his party and nobody else, and he doesn't care what they're doing. He does not stand for corruption. He's running the country like a profitable business, attracting investors from all over the world, and I see Salvador being the next Singapore, the next UAE, the next zero tax country that people will move to over the next 5-10 years and beyond. If you want to find out more countries that you can go to, move to, set up your residency in order to have more freedom, more stability, less restrictions while the West collapses, these countries are thriving. Check out the video right here on 4 countries around the world that you can go to for more freedom, less restrictions, and less taxes. Check them out right now.